All right.
I don't know how good I can explain myself very abstracting.
You can answer in Finnish and he asks.
Okay, if we can answer.
Okay, but if I speak in English, you can...
Yeah, we can try that.
Yeah,
because I want to be very strict what I say.
Yes, I know.
Maybe the
I can also translate. If you say words in Finnish, then I can translate them in text in English.
We will see.
Okay.
We can also we can send you the video before we publish.
Sorry?
We can send you the video before we publish, and then you can say yes or no.
Yeah.
Okay, we just bumped in the rain time now in Campi, these two candidates, and we were talking about, well, we're three candidates, and we were just talking about direct democracy versus representative democracy, pros and cons, and I am for direct democracy, but I am totally aware of the balance that is needed. And Samuel is totally for deliberative democracy, which is the mix of representative and direct. But maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Basically my theme in this election has been discussing democracy with this idea that maybe we should just more participate, or maybe the citizens should have more participating ways to be involved in the decision making. Maybe I think in US, in Oregon, they have this kind of model, and I think we could learn some from that.
They have also in Switzerland. They have a mix of national level.
Switzerland. They have. I don't remember how long they had that model, but it's not that compatible with Finland because the state system is so different from us. They have, I think it's over 2,000 municipal levels basically. So
they have a lot.
Yeah, they have a lot.
And all the cantons, but they have
cantons 26.
The municipalities have more assemblies, more direct democracy, and then the national goes more into representative.
Yeah, but it's not the same system in every country.
No.
There is, I think now there's only one where the citizen come together to discuss.
Yeah, the GLaDOS.
On the square.
Yeah, GLaDOS. We were discussing. You had some reserves about the process. You wanted to?
Yeah, I prefer a system where people can be together and discuss at the same time. That's why, for instance, the discussion in web is not very good because you answer or you cannot answer. You can immediately take the position or what you ever want. And that's why when people are at the same time in the same place, that's the better way.
Yeah, the citizen juries, I think, are the way that maybe we should involve in Helsinki or in the parts of the specific cities that are decisions that are involving about them. So if we would involve citizens of that part of the city, they would get involved in the decision making, and I think that would be something to look at in Helsinki.
But taking the fact that you see the level of people who are affiliated with political parties is decreasing every year. It's an all-time low since the 1920s, for example, in the UK. And if you see the statistics from the 70s here, it's also decreasing. People are starting to not to believe in the system of representation, right?
Yeah. And there's also the idea, if you think or read about the kind of new democratic thinking, that they say that this old-fashioned kind of effective system has been trying to be replaced by this kind of new participative democracy. But the idea is that because the citizens are involved in one project, like Tahdon Kampanja 2013, it's not a long system. There's no institution or nothing. It's just like one project, and I think that's excellent. But maybe if we want to involve them for a long term, then there should be more institution that could guide the system.
And in direct democracy, you have very easy to give a simple answer to complicated questions. And that's the problem, in a way.
But you before we had this talk, and I think
in the direct democracy, that's the problem.
But I think you agreed before, and maybe we'll clarify it now, that you agree that nonetheless, because of this disengagement of the people, we should be slowly or gradually bringing in new approaches or trying out these these experiments to engage more people and see, does this work? Could this be better or not?
No, the direct democracy will function in some questions, but it's very limited questions where you can use it. But when you can use it, then it's good.
Yeah. So we should be starting to make a little mix, right?
Yeah.
And I think it would be important that we don't make it like a whole level of Helsinki would be direct democracy or the party or discussing democracy. It should be like basically implemented as one project at a time, that we try it somewhere, we can see the results, is it good, is it bad, what
I fully agree.
Yeah, so that kind of decision making would be better.
Hey, so we are agreeing, look at this.
We are not totally in opposite.
No, we're not. No, it's good. So, in basic terms, if I would resume it, like, we do agree that there is a need to have more direct participation of the citizens into the decision making, but this process should be gradual to try out which ones work, which ones do not work. So we agree on this, right?
Okay.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Like the usual handshake thing.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, or three of you?
Yeah.
Because you were saying that perhaps we can have, in certain situations for certain answers, direct. Maybe we need to pick up. In certain situations, the problems are too complex for the average person to understand or have the long-term vision and strategy. They don't know all the realities. But in the idea of having an experiment that you mentioned, could we not have a large scale experiment that is, for example, with the city council, that you would have a permanent direct democracy mechanism that is of advisory nature and not decision nature, so that you could have a real-time barometer that measures these are the decisions making. It's still by the elected council members, but you can see in real time the popular sentiment. This is a tool that would also help the politicians to stay in.
I do very much like Gallup democracy.
Which one?
Gallup democracy.
What is it called?
Gallup surveys.
Yeah.
Kind of survey.
Because the point of the surveys is, which is shown in most research, is like because of the media and so on, you are seeing what are the tendencies, and therefore your vote will be influenced on that. But the latest MIT research, you probably
the
know.
question is, what's the question?
Yeah,
That's also.
And in Switzerland they have really specific laws about that. The example for idea for military kind of this military decisions or unions are not in the referendum system. So they have laws that have actually been kind of strictly made. So there are specific questions that go to the referendum system. And
It's a very complex system.
Exactly. But I think for your question, it would be interesting to see what would happen, what kind of experiment would be. But I think in these citizen juries or these kind of negotiating democracy from these gatherings or the discussion, there should be always the experts who know what is happening or what is the decision what the council is going to make. So it would be really important that we get those who know what is the word? I forgot it. Experts. Experts. So
They could
we
be the
would know,
ones-
and they would tell the information to the citizens, and the citizens would discuss about it because they need the information, and that's the problem with the strict direct democracy, that you don't always get the best information.
But can I add
to-
something?
we have- yeah.
Two things. First of all, the people who are in city council, they are not experts. They're also being advised.
that's
bureaucrats.
Yeah, that's true. They're not always the experts.
And second of all,
They
there's
have the government behind
But
them.
they have normally very good information.
Yeah, because they
true.
have the government behind them.
That's true. But they are form of lobbyism, as we saw it in the UNAIM case. Well, uncertainty on that, right? So that's also the other side of the coin. The second point is, as in research shown, independent opinion making of the crowd is more accurate than the independent decision making of a group of experts.
Yes.
I'm not actually arguing against. I'm just saying because I've been involved in Helsinki. They have the Deliberative Institute, which has tried these kind of mechanisms. And their idea is that we get first the experts to tell what is going to basically happen, what are A, B, and chances what is going to happen if you make this kind of decision. And then we have the politicians who come in and say what their party represents and why you should think like us. And then the citizens go to the specific groups and they discuss and make kind of these ideas what the decision should be.
Yeah, but then
So I think
that's my last thing is because then that is proposing the scale of having almost like a ghost city council, like giving support.
That's the large version of it, but I think it should be first started by small, step by step, and building on it, and we can learn from it. And if it goes wrong, then we have to make it better.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, let me just ask you just a final thing. Just a final thing. If any of us gets in
Yeah.
the city council, can we agree that we'll try to make this a discussion topic, move this forward?
Well, it's my actually biggest theme. So yeah.
Actually, it's very problematic in official decision making because of law.
I know. No. But if there's a discussion, to make this as a discussion topic in the future.
Okay, we will see.
You can, if we both get in, you can leave it to the younger part of social democrats. So
Yeah, we do that.
yeah, we can do that.
There you go. Now we have a promise.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much again. Thank you. Again, good luck.